Hello and welcome back to Building a Nation here on Football Manager 2023. We are in Iceland with UMF Selfoss and it is the end of season 16 here on the save, and as you can see we are not on the end of season review page because we have something to talk about initially. I don't know how to describe what happened, but all I'm going to say is let's just have a look at this next screen here. Yeah, so we won the Champions League. We beat Man United in the final on penalties. We outplayed them. We were the better team in this game. We should have actually won in 90 minutes. We did go 2-0 down. We did go back to 2-2. And yeah, we won the Champions League. Yep, was not expecting to be starting off this week's episode with that one. But yeah, Champions League winners after 16 seasons. I'm obviously delighted. I'm just very surprised, especially since we've not been able to get to even the final recently. So if we have a look at the season recap, the Champions League is unfortunately not on this page, but we did win the Super Cup, so we won 5 trophies this season. I'm going to say 6 because we won the Champions League as well. It's been a very quiet transfer window. That is going to change though. I know the last few transfer windows have been a bit unexciting. We brought in Christian Jonsson from IE, 20 years old. I wanted to pay money for him, but I couldn't. He's not very good, and that's kind of the end of it. I don't really know why we bought him, but we did. On the outs, we did say farewell to a club legend. Ivan Rasic went to Dinamo Zagreb for £7.75 million. I did say that we were probably going to let him go soon, and we opted to cash in for the German international, a wonderful servant for us. When I eventually show the best 11, he is going to be on that. He's currently on it with most appearances as well. For £800,000, he has been a remarkable signing. Consistent goals, assists, a wonderful player, and yeah, we will miss him, but he has gone. Baldur Gudmundsson also gone to HK on a free transfer. I'm a bit sad about this one. Sumar Lidson has gone to Al Tawun, and I don't think he's great, but he was a very reliable centre back for us. It is a shame to lose him on a free, but he did want to go, so we, whatever. And Unar Finson finally left the club. He's still not been signed by anybody. He's been here forever. He's finally gone. So as we discussed, I won the Champions League obviously, but we did also win the league. It was a slightly less convincing league title defence this year. We did draw 3 games, but to be fair, 2 of those came here when we played 3 games in 4 days. 2 of them against Stjarnan, who finished second comfortably. We did only win the league by 7 points, but we still won the league in the end. A few convincing wins, a 9-3, 6-0s, the usual. The Icelandic League Cup was of course won, as was the Champions Cup, as was the Icelandic Cup with a 14-0 semi-final win over IBV and then a 5-1 win over Breiðablik in the final as well. We beat PSV 1-0 in the UEFA Super Cup, and in the Champions League this season, as you can see, we are currently on pace for qualification. We have got 4 games left to play. We'll play them obviously for the next episode, but so far so good for our title defence, and I'll run through what happened here obviously in a moment. And as you can see, finally, not even a 3.5-star reputation now, a 4-star reputation for the club. We finally got out of the 3-star. The money is rolling in, 96 million in prize money, 11,500 shirt sales. It's beautiful to see. So we'll just quickly start on the supporter profile update. As you can see, it's just more of the same really. This is kind of a waste of time, this feature, to be honest. I've seen it enough now that I think it's a bit crap, so yeah, it's not very good. Depth centre we were on, the youth intake was nothing special. The best player to come in was the goalkeeper, Sigurður Orri Hassing. He came in and he's alright. He could be okay. Driven personality, so it's not the worst personality. We'll see how he develops over the next few years. Finances, very healthy. I'll show you an example of this, but I was replying to a comment regarding the optional contract extensions. As you can see, we have 500 grand left in our wage budget, and all of our key players are pretty much signed to new deals. So yeah, we've got a lot of wage budget to show, but I'll show you how I do it anyway in a moment. The club vision, spend the original transfer budget. They're very mad that we're not spending a lot of money. I don't understand it at all. And the club info, we have of course finally been joined by Thor Gudlaugsson in the legends list. We'll talk about him obviously in a moment, but just look at the stats. Oh, he's just the best. £245,000 from the lower leagues of Spain. In terms of transfers, we have an out. We have Olafur Friedrich Sigurður Jonsson, who's leaving to go to Inter of all teams. I don't think he's that good, so I don't quite understand Inter's pursuit of him, but he is off to Inter because as you do. We've got sell-on clauses. We could make some extra money if we really wanted to here. We could get a few £1 million. We might as well get this 1.12 million for Volleson. Yeah, sure. Actually, you know what? Let's just get them all now. Let's just add to the kitty here. There we go. That's an extra like 3 million right there. Tactically is the same thing. I mean, there's no point really going into the tactic these days, I don't think. I keep saying I'm going to change it, but I don't see the need to. The game hasn't yet caught up with us yet, so we might as well just keep going with it. We have a look at the schedule. I can quickly show you how the Champions League campaign did develop once I click all this crap off. We did get through the group phase with we finally beat Man United, by the way. Not in the final, but also in the group. And then a win against Roma, a draw against Red Star, and a win against Celtic set us up with a tie against Benfica, which we came through on aggregate with a 4-2 win. We then played Man City in a 2-1 win on aggregate, got us past Man City for another trip to the northwest of England, set us up against Liverpool, and we beat Liverpool on aggregate as well, 6-5, before a 2-2 draw in the final that you saw with Man United led us to win the Champions League. This season, straight into the group stage, a 1-1 draw with Real Madrid, and then a 6-1 win over Bilbao, 2-0 over Sassuolo, and currently a 1-0 win over Union Berlin, with PSV coming up tomorrow, and then Barcelona, Metz, and Besiktas. So I think a win against PSV here, and we are as good as qualified, I would say. The Barcelona game then just becomes a bit of a, if we win, great, if we don't, we don't. And of course, winning the Champions League did get us into the Club World Cup, which we didn't get out the group. So we beat Al Shabab and then drew with Palmeiras. Yeah, Palmeiras. And yeah, we finished second in the group because of that. I don't quite understand the logic, if I can find the goddamn thing. There we go. But 10 years later, yeah, we went out in goal difference by 1 goal. So, oh well. I don't really care at all about winning the Club World Cup, but we'll try and win it at some point, obviously. In terms of the league's reputation, we are up to 15th for the Icelandic Premier Division now. We are chasing down that top 10. I think another good year in the Champions League should hopefully get us to the 10th position, although Swedish teams are doing quite well in Europe at the moment, so we'll have to see how it goes. And in the coefficients, we are currently 12th place as a nation, and the club itself is in 9th, Stjarnan continuing to drop down, which is very disappointing. But we are the 9th best team in Europe on the coefficient ranking as well, which is lovely stuff. And if we look at the squad, as you can see, goals wise, I mean, Dominik Plashati, 34 starts, 13 off the bench, 53 goals, 13 assists as well. He doesn't just score goals, ladies and gentlemen. He is a all-round god on the football pitch. 21 years old, 18 goals and 25 caps for Czech Republic. Still under contract for another 3 years before the optional extension kicks in. And he's god mode right now. He has gone full-on god mode as a player. Just an unreal player. I thought we'd overpaid slightly when I bought him in from Sparta Prague, but I mean, you can't deny this goal return. 41 goals total in his first season, 43, 53, just magic. And of course, you can forget his partner in crime, Thorgerd Lauksen. Again, same contract situation. Again, 29 goals, 33 assists on the year. Every year. I mean, here we go again. 29 goals, 30 assists, 38, 26, 37, 26, 28, 21, 36, 35. I mean, he's utterly insane as a player. He's maybe the best player I've ever managed on this game. And Jaja, the other member of our front three, not as prolific, it has to be said. He has shared the role with Gunnar Olafsson, who we'll talk about in a moment, but 12 goals is a decent little return for the guy who plays out on the right wing. Yeah, a bit disappointing, but we can't complain too much, especially because Olafsson has shared the role as well, and he's had a pretty good rebound season. He's also become Iceland's all-time top scorer with 29 goals, but we'll talk about the national team in just a few moments because some interesting developments have happened there as well. Ilias Marku has become quite a sensation actually. I think he's an unreal player. Some of his stats, his first touch, passing, technique, off the ball, composure, teamwork, vision, I mean, it's sensational levels of stuff. He's a superb player. 37 caps for Cyprus. He's going to become Cyprus's best ever player if he's not already. 14 goals, 10 assists, especially because he plays a lot off the bench as well. Just an unreal bit of business, I would have to say myself. And Gujan Hassen continuing to prove everybody wrong with pretty average stats at the age of 24, but again, 14 goals, 4 assists. He has become Mr. Consistency in that midfield or up front as a backup if we're having to rotate due to fixture congestion, which we have a lot of. Another player worth pointing out is Adis Mulac, I think that's how you pronounce his name. The 11 caps for Iceland man has turned into a pretty nice little player actually in that midfield. I think he's a bit underwhelming on the stats, but if you look at the averages, he has been been very good for us when he's played with a good season away from us as well. At Breidablik, a guy who's going to keep improving. We've got him under contract for another couple of years. Actually, Mulach can be my example, guys. So what I like to do is enter contract negotiations. Whatever, I don't care about this. So he wants to be a fringe player, so it's perfect. And then offer the maximum amount of contract you can. Get away with the yearly wage rise. If they've got the minimum fee release clause, get rid of that as well. Optional contract extension by club. 3 years. Lock that in. And because we've got so much wage budget, he wants 3 and a bit grand. We're going to give him 16 grand. And there you go. He's accepted a 5-year extension with a 3-year optional extension. So an 8-year contract effectively for Adis Mulach. Simple as that. Obviously, if you've not got the wage budget to play with, it's a bit trickier to do. But in our case, we have so much wage budget that putting some of our players on a bit more money doesn't matter. Kevin Sambolo, I think this is it for Kevin Sambolo. I think we're going to try and sell him in the window. He is out for a few weeks, but that's fine. We'll probably get a few £1,000,000 for him. We spent 7 million. We'll probably make a loss, but 30 years old now, Sambolo, not going to improve. We've got players coming through and we can go sign someone as well. Fleming Post, he's turning into a tidy football player, I have to say. 4 goals as well this year, no assists, but it's not what we expect from our centre back. Sometimes plays in the midfield as well. I like having, I've said this before, the versatility of a lot of our squad to play multiple positions, especially with how the Icelandic fixtures work. You do get a lot of games crammed in when you're playing in Europe, so it's good to have this versatility going through. Gaston Rodriguez, he's good. He's really good. We've managed to get him on a new contract as well. Same deal with the 3-year extension and multiple year contract, so he's under contract for 8 years as well. Still wanted by everyone, still a wonderful player. 17 caps for Argentina. We got him for 11 million. I maybe thought we'd overpaid, but he's flourished into a wonderful football player, as has Ruben Pereira as well. He's really steadily developing into a good fullback for us. We play wing backs on support, and as you can see, he's getting better every year. So only 21, 6 caps for Portugal with 2 goals, and again, the versatility to be able to play in the midfield as well works lovely for us. Hörður Arnason, I think it's officially time to admit failure on this one. His average rating's really good, but he's just not produced the goods for us. His first season back was a bit of a revelation, and it's been steadily, not downhill, but it's going downhill. He's out of contract in 2 years' time, and I don't think we'll be renewing that. No one else really to talk about as far as I'm aware. Carlos Rosa, again, Mr. Reliable, 99 league games for us. He's just a good player. We've extended his contract because why not at this point. Ochoa has played some games as well. 21 starts, 17 off the bench. Maybe not developing as quickly as I would like, but I think he's getting better. His positioning is really good. His decisions, his bravery. His physicals are a bit underwhelming, but the mentals you can't disagree with. Someone who has really flourished into a great player this year is Matthias Ortiz, his international teammate, who, is a left back or a centre back, continuing to improve. Great physicals, mentals improving, the technicals are getting better as well. 21 years old, getting better. That's all I can really say, is he's starting to really get there, I would say. Another player to maybe potentially keep an eye on is Odin Eidson, who can play both sides of the fullback position really, so that's kind of why he's in the team. Came through our youth development, and he's a decent little player. Miroslav Verba, he's done here. We really need to try and cash in on him now. A good player in his prime for us, but he's not cutting it anymore. And if we talk about the goalkeepers, of course, the main man, Yamikorn, just £40 million bids for Barcelona every week at every transfer window right now, and he's not going anywhere. 107 caps for Thailand, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, not leaving this football club as long as I have any say so in that. Everything is just unreal. And that's the squad. It's a great squad. I think this is the year we'll probably make a bit of investment in the midfield and possibly a bit more investment in centre back as well. Everywhere else I'm pretty happy. We could look at the right wing. We could sell Jaja for a lot of money and bring in a new right winger. That might be something that happens by next episode. I'll quickly show you as well, before we forget, the other teams in Iceland's European adventures. This was how the league table looked last year, so let's start from the bottom and go to the top. So IA played Soroke Briesh, who of course famously have played Hearts before, I believe, and got knocked out in the first qualifying round that they entered in the Conference League. So Great start from IA. KR went one round better, a pretty decent win I would say over Hapoel Beersheva before falling 5-1 on the aggregate to Espanyol. There's no real shame in losing to Espanyol, but I mean KR have also just been relegated again, so you know, not ideal really. FH entered in the Europa League and lost to Rangers 2-1 on aggregate, so a close one, but they did get into the Europa Conference League group phase where they have got 1 point after 3 games. They're probably not going to make it out of this. That's my hunch. Probably not going to do it. However, Stjarnan, I mean, let's talk about these bad boys. So we've been slagging them off recently over the last few seasons because they've achieved absolutely nothing in Europe, and they did fall 4-0 to Feyenoord in the UEFA Champions League second qualifying round, but they did drop obviously into the Europa League where they did lose to Ammonia 4-1 on aggregate, but they did then fall into the Conference League qualifying round and they got past Trabzonspor before 3 wins out of 3 in the Conference League group phase. So Stjarnan, if they can keep this up, will be qualifying for the knockout rounds of Europe's third tier competition, which can only help everything. So well done to Stjarnan. And speaking of Iceland, let's talk about the World Cup because we have qualified for the World Cup. If we have a look at the schedule, our qualifying group was Scotland, Holland, Serbia and Azerbaijan, and as you can see, a 2-1 win against Scotland kicked it off at Hampden before a 2-0 loss to Holland. A 2-0 win over Serbia and a 0-0 draw in Serbia set us up really well, especially with 2 games to play against Azerbaijan. We won the first one 3-1 before a 3-1 win over Scotland at Lagertsvoller. A 4-1 loss to Holland was not ideal, but we rebounded with a 3-2 win, a late couple goals from us actually, to beat Azerbaijan, which did send us in second, and we qualified as one of the best second place teams, only just as one of them, but we did qualify. We are at the World Cup next year, which is being held where exactly? South Africa again. So yeah, and it's going to be held on my birthday in 2038. So we'll talk about the World Cup when we get to the end of next season. Hopefully we can do some business. The group format's that really stupid, like multiple groups of 3 thing. Yeah, it's horrible. But yeah, good stuff. And as I said, Gunnar Olafsson has become Iceland's all-time top scorer as well on 29 goals. He has beaten Eidur Gudjonsson's record. He's most likely going to smash 100 caps as well. And if he could get 60-70 goals, that's a remarkable career from a player who, he's not as good as he was, but he is a legend. I mean, he literally is a legend at our club. And yeah, as a youth product, we've kind of just got to keep him, I think, at this point. By the way, Plashati's worth 100 million. Just thought I'd point that out there. 100 million. God. Absolute God. That's going to do it for today's episode though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Apologies if my voice is sounding a bit weird. I've got a bit of a sore throat, but I just thought I would get this recording hammered out the way so I can continue to play the save more than anything else. But if you have enjoyed, please do give a like on the video and hit that subscribe button as well. Once again, your support has been phenomenal. Thank you so much for continuing to watch. And yeah, we won the bloody Champions League. Who would have guessed it? I didn't even have anything planned for it because I wasn't expecting it. We just kept getting through. Hopefully we can do the same again this year. We're playing PSV tomorrow. I'll let you know how that goes at next episode, next Friday, 1 PM, usual time, usual channel. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.